I went to Catholic school throughout my whole academic life. In fact, my children, my husband and I, and our children in my own family, now have over 100 years of Catholic education among us. My father died the year I was elected to Congress, 1987. My brother is the former mayor of Baltimore. Older people are not going to evaporate from the face of the earth for 2 years. They're going to have medical need, and they're going to have to be attended to. And the earlier intervention for it, the less the cost will be, and the better the quality of life. I don't remember saying that everybody in the country would have a lower premium. Maybe it will take a woman to clean up the house. Being the first woman speaker and breaking the marble ceiling is pretty important. Now it's time to move on. My biggest fight has been between those who wanted to do something incremental and those who wanted to do something comprehensive. We won that fight, and once we kick through this door, there will be more legislation to follow. Bipartisanship is nice, but it cannot be a substitute for action. Not having it cannot prevent us from going forward. Let's just do what is right for the American people. And those of us who are involved in politics and government know that our responsibility is to the American people, that we have a responsibility to find our common ground, to seek it, and to find it. If I cry, it's about the personal loss of a friend or something like that. But when it comes to politics, no, I don't cry. For 25 years, it has been my privilege to represent the city of San Francisco and the great state of California, to work to strengthen our vibrant middle class, to secure opportunity and equality. I never dread going back to Congress. I've never walked away from any of my positions. I take pride in them. I read that my lifelong dream is to serve as Speaker with Hillary Clinton as President. So what? I always saw politics as an expansion of my role as a mom. I would say that one of the things that encouraged me so much when I became elected to the leadership was the letters I received from fathers of daughters, saying that my daughter can now do many more things because of what you did. Washington and Congress are steeped in history and tradition, and that's been very male-oriented. I really want women to know their power, to value their experience, to understand that nothing has been more wholesome in the political process than the increased involvement of women. My vision for the future always centers around our children. It always centers around our children. So anytime anybody asks me what are the 3 most important issues facing the Congress, I always say the same thing: our children, our children, our children. What the Republicans have said is rather than touch one hair on the heads of the wealthiest people in our country, people who make over $1 million a year, they're saying seniors should pay $6,000 more a year. But please don't let us ask the wealthiest to do their fair share. The name Republican in some ways has been hijacked by obstructionists. Republicans support opening the floodgates to special interest money and suppressing the right to vote. It's just plain wrong. The American people voted to restore integrity and honesty in Washington, D.C., and the Democrats intend to lead the most honest, most open, and most ethical Congress in history. Democratic priorities remain clear: to provide a tax cut for working families, to promote policies that produce jobs and economic growth, and to assist millions of our fellow Americans who have lost their jobs through no fault of their own. Democrats embrace the Affordable Care Act. We're very proud of it. We are not going back to the failed policies of the past. We are fighting for the middle class. Social Security has never failed to pay promised benefits, and Democrats will fight to make sure that Republicans do not turn a guaranteed benefit into a guaranteed gamble. With Americans worried about losing their jobs, their savings, their homes, and their chance at the American dream, the new direction Congress will work in a bipartisan way to lift our economy and help America's middle class. If you make, not have, $1 million a year, should you not participate in the sense of community of our country? I'm willing to put that on the table. Every month that we do not have an economic recovery package, 500 million Americans lose their jobs. I have deep emotions about the American people. If I were to cry for anything, I would cry for them and the policies that they're about to face. In our recovery package, we put new standards of accountability and transparency, which we hope will now apply. What we're discussing privately and publicly is a budget, which is a blueprint for the future, which creates jobs, which educates our children, which provides health care for all Americans, which takes our deficit down, which gives a tax cut for 95% of the American people. If people don't have a job, they're not too interested in how you intend for them to have a job. They want to see results. A successful marriage is a decision. You decide it's going to work. You can't always be there, but you have to be there enough. And you have to make sure you are where you're needed most. America will be far safer if we reduce the chances of a terrorist attack in one of our cities than if we diminish the civil liberties of our own people. The impact of climate change is a tremendous risk to the security and well-being of our countries. Think of an economy where people could be an artist, or a photographer, or a writer without worrying about keeping their day job in order to have health insurance. I must have good genes from my parents because I feel no slowdown of energy, enthusiasm, or even memory. It is about the integrity of the House, of upholding a high ethical standard. Many in Congress have been concerned for many years about China's violation of human rights, occupation of Tibet, of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and that, of course, is a national security issue. But on the basis of trade alone, this is a bad deal for the American people.